Hey everybody, this is my last video of 2016. Now that the holiday rush is over, hopefully I'll have my nights and weekends back so I can start working on my other videos. Anyway, today I want to talk about New Year's resolutions. I believe in setting attainable, clear, measurable goals for yourself if you're going to set a resolution. Last year I made 3 resolutions. First, I wanted to learn how to cook more things, so I set a resolution to learn how to cook one new dish every month. Second, I wanted to get back into reading more often, so I set a resolution to read one new book every month. Finally, I wanted to expand my musical tastes. I feel like a lot of my musical tastes have gotten a little stagnant, so I wanted to listen to one new album every week. 12 new dishes, 12 new books, and 52 new albums. That was the goal. As it turns out, I failed every single one of these resolutions. I only learned 6 new dishes, finished 8 books, and listened to 29 new albums. Still, even though I failed, I don't feel bad about it. I mean, in the end, the goal I set out to achieve, I accomplished it. I learned a lot more about cooking. I read a lot more than I would have otherwise, and I exposed myself to a lot of new music, even if it's not quite as much as I intended. So let's go over what I've actually done. I kept track of everything. I learned how to cook spaghetti, lasagna, fried rice, fried chicken without breading. I learned how to cook the beef bowl like you can find in Japan at a place called Yoshinoya, and I learned how to make pecan pralines. As far as books goes, honestly, I started a lot of books, but I didn't finish reading most of them. Instead, I ended up finishing a bunch of them right here at the end of the year by listening to audiobooks, which is pretty great. I'm now addicted to audiobooks, I think. The ones that I finished are Washington, A Life by Chernow, The Upside of Irrationality by Dan Ariely, The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, The Wise Man's Fear, also by Patrick Rothfuss, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, Lafayette in the Somewhat United States by Sarah Vowell, The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson, and The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. I think probably my most ambitious task was to listen to one new album every week. I was able to keep up with it pretty decently at the beginning of the year, but as things got busier and busier at the end of the year, I just did not have time to actually sit down and listen to music, especially since a lot of what I was listening to was audiobooks right there at the end. But what I did listen to, let's see, From All Sides by Vince Guaraldi and Bolasset, Black Star by David Bowie, When I Was a Boy by the Electric Light Orchestra, The College Dropout by Kanye West. I ended up liking The College Dropout a lot more than I thought I would. Taylor Swift by Taylor Swift, With a Little Help from My Friends by Joe Cocker. That was the beginning of me learning that I'm a big fan of Joe Cocker. Other by Any Kind, Break It Yourself by Andrew Bird, the original cast recording of Hamilton, which had a pretty big impact on me, I would say. Lunaria by Danimal Cannon, the Undertale original soundtrack by Toby Fox, which I had to listen to as I was putting together the product for the Fangamer store. Are You Serious by Andrew Bird, The White Album by Weezer, Joe Cocker by Joe Cocker, the original cast recording of In the Heights, the Broadway show. Beyonce's Lemonade, which also I think, I'd never listened to a lot of Beyonce before, but I could say I enjoyed it. Another album called Joe Cocker by Joe Cocker, but this one does not have an exclamation point, whereas the first one did. Leslie Odom Jr. by Leslie Odom Jr. Capital Punishment by Big Punisher. Let It Be, Naked. There's a lot of Beatles albums I've never listened to, so I ended up listening to that one, and Abbey Road. Some Creedence Clearwater Revival, I listened to Bayou Country and Cosmo's Factory. Tell Me All About Yourself by Nat King Cole. B.B. King's Greatest Hits. The Psychokinetic Album by The Bad Dudes. Don't Mess Around with Jim by Jim Croce. Provincial by John K. Sampson. Long Box of Chocolate by The Lesser Dogs. Oh, I ended up listening to 3 more albums than I remembered, actually. I listened to Winter Wheat by John K. Sampson. Life and Times by Jim Croce, and the Hamilton mixtape. I feel like this has been a very productive year as far as exposing myself to new media and music and artwork. Yeah, I would say I'm pretty satisfied with what I've accomplished. Next year, I think I'm only going to make one resolution. I am resolving myself to release one new video, one of the big ones, not the off topic. I'm talking about on the issues, Hamilton the History or Constitution series, one new video every month next year. I don't think that's unreasonable. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next year.